Mabel Pines was like a parent figure, a mother figure to Peepers, to Commander Peepers. Peepers didn't get much respect from Lord Hater. Not much respect from Lord Hater, always being yelled at and being treated like a lowlife, whatever. One day, Lord Hater took it out on Peepers, telling him he's not good enough and bringing down his spirits. Thankfully, Mabel was there. Peepers looks at the ground. He looks at the ground sadly before he felt a cape he placed over his shoulders. A cape be placed. Before he felt a cape be placed over his shoulders. Over his shoulders. The shoulders. Peepers looked up at Mabel, seeing her placed her commander cape over his shoulders. Mabel, don't worry about him. You're good enough for me. You're good enough for me. She smiled softly. Mabel, plus, I gave your very own cape some interesting sparkle features, and it even glows your own favorite colors to bring spice. I made it myself. I hope you like it. Peepers looked at the cape, seeing the new sparkly features. His eye widened. Really? You made this for me? You made this for me? Mabel Pines nodding passionately while patting Peepers' helmet. He let a small smile form on his face. He adjusted the fluffy cape around his shoulders, admiring the sparkle features. Thank you, Mabel. I love it. Mabel, it even glows in the dark. Turns off the lights for a moment before pressing the cape's features silly. Boop! Boop! The cape glows mixed colors of purple, red, yellow, orange, and pink all over the cape and the atmosphere. Peepers' eye widened as the cape started to glow in the dark. He spun around in a circle, admiring the bright colors that filled the atmosphere. He looked back at Mabel with a smile. This is incredible. You're really talented. Thanks. And it's not a problem. Not a problem matching sweaters and fashion. It's kind of my thing, you know? Kind of my thing. It's what I do and good at for any moment possible. I'm like, you like it? You like it? Peepers nodded, still admiring the cape. He couldn't help but spin around again, watching the colorful lights fill the room. You have an amazing talent for fashion, and an even better talent for cheering me up. He smiled at Mabel. Mabel, aw, shucks, no worries. And I know what you're gonna want to do if there's anything you could do to repay me. Come on, relax. No need to seeing you smile cute silly is all I ever wanted." His eye widened slightly. A light shade of pink dusted across his face. "Repay you? Repay you? But you already did so much for me." "You already did so much for me." He fidgeted with the cape, looking up at her. "Mabel, I know, I can tell you want to. I'm flattered, really. I appreciate that, but I assure you, trust me. I insist, seeing you all better is anything that makes my heart swell anyway. That's all I ever need." Peepers let out a small huff, still fiddling with the cape. He looked up at Mabel and sighed. "You're too kind, Mabel. You're too kind." He smiled softly, feeling a bit better now. "I know, and I'm glad to be that way for you, sweetheart," pats him passionately. Peepers' eye widened slightly at the affectionate name. He felt his heart skip a beat. "Sweetheart?" He smiled softly, blushing a bit more. "Mabel, yep." He was at a loss for words. He was so used to being disrespected and treated like crap by Hader that being treated nicely was new to him, especially having affectionate names given to him. He cleared his throat, trying to regain his composure. Well, thank you. He fidgeted with the cape again, unable to stop smiling. "Mabel, no problem. And since that perfect fashion style really suits you, how about we give it a test ride for a spin, if you know what I mean." His eye widened at the suggestion, a mix of surprise and excitement. "A test ride? Like a fashion show?" He couldn't help but smile at the idea. "I guess I wouldn't mind showing off the cape." "Mabel, showing off a test run if it really works out. And definitely to test it out, to see how it'll do in public, or anywhere, or anything. Let's test out the looks around for ourselves and show this off. People are going to go crazy, gonna go wild when they see ya like this." He couldn't help but feel a little nervous, but also excited. The idea of showing off the cape and having people notice him, it was different from being belittled by Hader all the time. He took a deep breath. "All right, let's do it. Let's see what kind of reaction we can get." Mabel shrieks enthusiastically as she grabs Peepers and heads off to the mall. "I'm gonna need to set up a dramatic entrance for ya." Peepers lets out a small squeak as Mabel grabs him, a mix of surprise and excitement. Dramatic entrance? Mabel, what are you planning?" He held on to the cape tightly, following her to the mall. "Just a stage to put for the special introduction for your entrance with your cape to show off performing." Got inside the mall and looks for some items to get started to surprise people. He watches Mabel as she frantically searches for items. He couldn't help but let out a small laugh, finding her enthusiasm infectious. "You're really excited about this, aren't you, Mabel?" He followed her around the mall, still holding onto his cape. "Mabel, you bet I am." He shook his head, trying to contain his smile as Mabel continued to search for items. All right. I'm curious to see what you come up with." He looked around the mall, noticing that a few people were starting to glance over at them. A few minutes later, Mabel got the whole stage and props and everything ready as she glanced at the audience before closing the curtains behind the stage and looking at Peepers. "Ya ready, bud?" His eye widened as he looked at the makeshift stage and props Mabel had set up. "Wow, Mabel, you really went all out." He took a deep breath, trying to calm down his nerves. He adjusted the cape around his shoulders. "I'm ready. Let's do this." Everybody, including Dipper Pines, Wander, and Sylvia, sitting front of the crowd, begins to watch. The disco lights appearing around the stage. Mabel, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for this ultimate Mabel's eventful fashion show, and presenting one of the most intelligent, fun, and bad boyish aliens in the galaxy. He used to be Lord Hader's right-hand man, a second in command of the Watchdogs army. Commander Peepers!" She walks backwards, gesturing him on stage. Everyone starts applauding as they're surprised to watch and notice this. Wander, "Woo! Yeah, see babe! See peeps!" Dipper, "This is an unexpected surprise, considering this guy is working with the villain who's desperate being the greatest in the galaxy. Whatever." Peepers took a deep breath as Mabel introduced him. His heart was pounding in his chest, but the excitement and nerves kept him going. As he stepped onto the stage, he saw the audience's reaction. Some were surprised, but many were cheering. Hearing Wander yell his name made him feel special. He stood center stage, adjusting the cape once more again. Wow, thanks for the introduction, Mabel." He smiled nervously at the crowd. Mabel, "This commander has swag with his new adoring cool cape, with many features and rock-styled colors. It even glows in the dark." Helps Peepers with the features as she turns off the lights first before doing so. Sylvia, "Oh, show off. A show-off shocker. A show-off shocker. A show-off shocker. A show-off shocker." Dipper, "This is unexpected turn of events, considering he's been literally working for a villain who is desperate to being the greatest in the galaxy." Peepers watches as Mabel demonstrates the features of the cape, a small glow coming from it as it starts to glow in the dark. He then hears Sylvia's comment, causing his eye to twitch a little. "Shut up! Shut up!" he mumbled under his breath. He then looks over at Dipper and listens to his comment. "Yeah, well, people change. Yeah, well, people change. Well, people change." He responded simply. Wander, "Wow, that's amazing! That's amazing!" Mabel, "Yep, these colors, red, purple, orange, yellow, and all are on his cape, just sparkling with rock-style fashion. To suit his type, and the cape even glows at the dark. He's showing off a style sparkle here, folks. Get him a big hand." Everyone was gasping, surprise while applauding. Dipper. Okay, that's unexpected, but wow, who knew? Who knew? Peepers' heart started to flutter with all the compliments and applause. He couldn't help but smile, feeling a sense of pride. He spun around, showing off the cape to the crowd. The colors sparkled and glowed, making him feel awesome. He couldn't help but shoot a smug look at Sylvia at her comment before looking at Dipper. Yeah, unexpected but good, right? Dipper. Yeah, cool cape, peeps. Cool cape, peeps. Wander. That's impressive. I'm sure you got Mabel Pines, dear, to thank for it. Peepers startled by Dipper agreeing, but he quickly composed himself. Thanks, Dipper. He then looked at Wander, hearing him mention Mabel. Oh, of course. Mabel is the one who made this for me. She's really talented. He glanced over at Mabel, giving her a small smile. Wander. I bet she sure is talented. Dipper. Hey, sis. He's enjoying this moment, thanks to you. Mabel. Oh, brother. No need to embarrass me in front of him. Not in front of him. Narrowed and blushes teasingly, awkward with interest as she laughs slightly. Peepers couldn't help but smile as he watched Dipper and Mabel interact. Mabel's talent had made him feel special. He chuckled as Mabel got embarrassed. Hey, don't be embarrassed. You did a great job. He pausing for a moment. Mabel, can I ask you something? Mabel, sure. He took a deep breath, trying to keep his nerves in check. I was wondering, why did you do this for me? The cape, the stage, all of it. He fiddled with the cape nervously. You've been so nice to me. I'm not used to it. Mabel, because you're important, special to me, and I really like you. I really like you since we first met. Ever since we first met. I couldn't help to resist you, and I really like you. His eye widened at Mabel's confession. He felt his heart skipping a beat. You like me? You like me? He felt a mix of shock and happiness. Someone actually care for him? He took a step closer to Mabel. Mabel, I care about you, and I don't care if you're evil or not. You're special in my heart, and I take time to hang out with you, and I don't know, never let anyone mess with you. I never let anyone mess you up. Not treating you well. Peepers felt a rush of emotions. He wasn't used to someone caring about him like this, but Mabel's words meant everything. He watched out gently. He reaches out gently, taking Mabel's hand. Mabel, no one's ever treated me like this before. You're special to me too. He gave her hand a squeeze. Thank you. Mabel, well, what are loved ones for, buddy? Never mind. Peepers couldn't help but smirk at Mabel's slip up. He couldn't help but smirking at Mabel's slip up. He raised an eyebrow. Loved ones? Loved ones? He repeated, a teasing tone in his voice. Interesting. You almost said something more there. Mabel. What are you talking about? Peepers chuckled, stepping closer to Mabel. Don't play dumb, Mabel. I heard the slip up. He had a small smirk on his face. You were about to say what are loved ones for, weren't you? Mabel, what? You mean lovers as in more than just friends? Nah, bud, you're one of the people I cherish. You're just so fun and interesting for me to be around and, I don't know. What you talking about by that? He smirked. His smirk widened. He was enjoying watching Mabel try to deny it. You're a terrible liar, Mabel. Mabel, you're a terrible liar. Your face is giving you away. You're a terrible liar, Mabel. Your face is giving it away. He took another step closer. You were thinking about the whole more than friends thing, weren't you? He teased. Mabel, I don't know. Maybe I love you like I want to be your closest sibling? He couldn't help but laugh at Mabel's attempts to save face. Right, sibling. He shook his head, still smiling. Then he looked at Mabel nervously. Mabel, I need to confess something. Confess something. Mabel, He took a deep breath, stealing his nerves. Mabel, ever since I met you, I've felt something that I have never felt before. You treat me better than anyone has, and you make me happy. He held eye contact with her. I have feelings for you. I have feelings for you more than just friends. More than just friends. Mabel's eyes widened, sparkly, beady, her heart skipping a beat fast, her cheeks rosy, as she finds herself dazed with hearts everywhere at the atmosphere. As she was surprised, she tilted her head slightly, continuing to listen. Oh my, really? He saw Mabel's reaction, the way her eyes sparkled and her cheeks flushed. He smiled a little, feeling a mix of nerves and happiness. He nodded, taking a small step forward. Yes, really. I can't deny it anymore. He reached out gently, taking Mabel's hand. I like you, Mabel. More than just a friend. More than a friend. Mabel, OMG. So you Peepers nodded. He nodded again, his smile growing. Yeah, I do. He looked at her, his eye filled with a mix of hope and affection. I think I might love you, he said softly. Mabel was completely stunned for a moment, feeling emotionally dazed in thought At this point, her heart racing crazy. Now everything was swirling around her at once as she immediately grabbed Peepers, wrapping around him, kissing him deeply, firmly, with passion, without even thinking straight. Peepers was taken by surprise at Mabel's sudden action. He let out a small gasp as she wrapped her arms around him, pulling him in for a kiss. His heart skipped a beat as he felt Mabel's lips against his. The passion and firmness of the kiss took him aback, and he found himself kissing her back with equal fervor. He wrapped his arms around her, holding her tightly. After what felt like an eternity, they finally broke the kiss, both of them slightly breathless. Peepers looked at her, a mix of awe and happiness showing in his eye. Mabel? That was wow. He still held her tight. Mabel, OMG. Whoa. How's that? He lets out a small laugh, still feeling a bit lightheaded from the kiss. That was amazing. You definitely caught me off guard there. He grinned, looking at her. You're full of surprises, you know that? Mabel, aw, shucks. Well, I have my ways to impress how I feel, especially from that interesting confession coming from ya. He chuckled, still holding her. Yeah, I think you got the point across pretty well. He smirked, still recovering from the kiss. But I have to admit, I never expected that as a response to my confession. He couldn't help but grin. He couldn't help but smile, smiling at Mabel's grin. You're really something else, you know that? He reached out, tucking a strand of her hair behind her ear. I've never felt this way about anyone before. You make me feel special. Mabel, same with you. So, does this whole thing makes us, a thing, or... He smiled, understanding what Mabel was getting at. You mean official? A couple? A couple? He looked at Mabel, his eye filled with affection. I like that. I want to be your boyfriend. Your boyfriend. Mabel squealing before hugging him tightly. OMG! Then it's official. We're a couple now. Wait. My gosh. Wait until Wander and Sylvia and my brother Dipper and everyone else finds out about this, or... I mean, if it's between us or something. Peepers chuckled at Mabel's squeal, hugging her back tightly. Looks like it. We're official. He paused for a moment, thinking about the others. As for telling the others, it doesn't have to be immediate. It can be our little secret for now. Just for now. Give ourselves some time to just enjoy this. He smiled at Mabel, feeling a sense of happiness he never experienced before. He pulled back slightly, still holding Mabel. Though I can imagine the looks on their faces when they find out, especially your brothers. He chuckled, imagining the shocked expressions of the others finding out about their new relationship. Peepers laughed a little, picturing Dipper's reaction. Dipper's gonna have a heart attack. He shook his head slightly. And Wander? I don't know if he would probably freak out, but in a good way. In a good way. Mabel, yeah, like Dipper would be like, what the actual heck? That I'm literally dating Wander and Sylvia's enemy, sort of frenemy, whatever. And Wander would be hyped, thrilled about it as his usual oblivious, optimistic self, and Sylvia would be in disbelief. I would date anyone that is on Lord Hater's side, or any villain, alien, or whatever, and I can tell they might be concerned about it though. Peepers chuckled, imagining the reactions of the others. Oh man, you can bet Dipper will have a million questions, and Wander will be his usual excitable self, all happy for us. And Sylvia, well, she'd probably be the most skeptical. He smirked a little. Not that I blame her. It's not every day someone falls for Lord Hater's second in command. Mabel, I know, right? Laughing before giggling softly, and sighs awkwardly as she looked down, blushing with a soft smile, feeling a flutter in her chest. Peepers chuckled as he watched Mabel laugh. He knew she was probably imagining everyone finding out about their relationship. He smiled softly, hearing Mabel sigh and seeing her blush. You're thinking about how they're gonna react, aren't you? He teased, raising an eyebrow. Mabel, so, this is awkward, huh, isn't it? This is awkward, huh, isn't it? We're a thing now. A actual couple? He couldn't help but laugh at Mabel's awkward reaction. Yeah, we are officially a couple. He moved a hand to Mabel's cheek, tilting her chin up to meet his gaze. What's wrong? You look like you've got a thought on your mind. Mabel, you don't feel embarrassed? You don't feel embarrassed about anything? About anything of that? Not only does that make me feel close to you, but are we like more than friends? Because I know Sylvia point out that you and Hater are the enemies and not friends for Wander to just be friended or such. What do you really think about me? What do you really think about me? What do you really think about me? Me, Mabel Pines, the fashionable, lovable, gullible shooting star Pine twin sibling. How am I, stammered, awkwardly blushing and sweating a bit. Peepers listened to Mabel, hearing her stuttering and blushing. He knew she was overthinking things. Hey, Mabel, listen to me. He spoke gently, still holding her chin. Those labels, the whole enemies thing, they don't matter in this moment. Not to me. Not to me. He looked at her seriously. What matters is us. You and me. You're Mabel Pines. You're Mabel Pines. The most fun, caring, and compassionate person I've ever met. And I care about you a lot. Mabel was completely stunned, silent as she listened, her heart skip a beat quick, her eyes twinkling. She felt absolutely touched, feeling warm in her chest, and her face blushing as she just stood there for a moment, almost emotionally before gasping. Really? Peepers saw the effect his words had on Mabel. Her stunned silence, the way her eyes sparkled, the way her face flushed. He could tell his words had an impact, and it made his own heart skip a beat. He nodded, smiling softly. Yeah, really. You're amazing, Mabel. You're amazing. You're amazing, Mabel. I mean that. I mean that. He paused for a moment, looking at her. You may be a bit naive, boy crazy, and all, and gullible, but that's part of your charm. That's part of your charm, you know. He teased lightly.